Welcome back to another edition of Dogging It. I'm Molina Mike, and I'm real happy to be joined this evening with a junior who we've had on quite a few times. She's actually probably, now that I think about it, she's probably been on the show one of the highest number, I would guess, probably like right in that same range as like Emily and a few other like regular reoccurring guests. For sure has been on more than Joey has over the last few months. That's for sure. So let me bring her on in via Las Vegas. Savannah Easton. Savannah, good evening. How are you?
What's up? Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You mentioned before we went on air that you were nervous whenever you first started doing this. I don't understand how you
Oh
can
no, I'm
be
still
nervous
nervous. I'm still
when
nervous.
I've been at places where you play pool on a regular, and you know how I can find out where you're playing? I just look in the arena and I look for the crowd because every time you're playing, there's just a big crowd around you. How do you process that? How do you deal with that? Do you kind of like get used to it at this point, or what's going through your here?
Honestly, when I first start the match or when I'm practicing, I kind of like interact with some of them. But when I'm in a match, I pretty much block all that out. Like I'm only focused on the table. Like I pretty much learned how to adapt to that, and I owe that to my dad.
What did Larry tell you? Give me the insight. Give me the secret sauce on how to process the pressure.
Well, I mean, he basically just said, like boxers, that's your arena. Just focus on the table, and then it probably took like a couple months for me to get used to it, and then I started, kind of getting used to it.
I think the last time I seen you was out in Las Vegas, and it was during a match with Carolyn Powell, and
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
it was a shootout, and
That shootout was rough.
a rather long one, if I remember
The
correct.
shootout was rough. No,
And
and when you say long one, it doesn't mean we kept making them. It just meant we kept missing them.
it was, and I think I got in there like on the tail end because I'm walking up to the right side of the arena. Because if you ever been to the expo, they have a left side and a right side. Both of them are pro arenas, and then the center section is where the TV tables at. It's fantastic setup they got out there with Ozzy and Predator and their team. But anyway, I'm standing there, and there's Karim right next to me, right, and he's like, "What do you?" Yeah, and he's like, "What do you think about all this?" And I'm like, "She's a rock star." And he says, "Mike, I'm talking about the arena here." And I said, the atmosphere is great. I said, but the kid's a rock star. Look at everybody watching her, So, and he was there watching as you ended up winning that match, if I remember right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, after like 13 tries, but I mean, it's so weird because in practice, me and Caroline were even talking about it after. We were like, we can make like 13 in a row in practice. Maybe not 13, but at least six in a row in practice. And then when we're in the tournament, we can't even make like one out of like 20 tries.
So, why do you think that is? Is it conditions or is it just the moment?
Oh, it's definitely just a moment. Yeah, the conditions are perfect there. I mean, nothing really to complain about, especially in Vegas. It's not humid or anything, and we had AC in there, so it's perfect conditions. It was pretty much just me.
Yeah, but it's different than playing like at
Oh
Griff's, for example, on a Friday night. Like as far as
yeah,
how you're hitting the ball, right? Because the slide and new equipment, all that fun stuff.
oh yeah, yeah. And I've talked to a lot of pros. I mean, they all say it's so much different in practice than you know in the moment playing under pressure. Especially like after you play like hour and a half match, and then like it all comes down to one shot. So pretty tough.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, I get nervous just sitting on the rail and just watching you guys go and do it. I remember a match in particular. It was Mario He and Chang Jun Lin, and it was during the World 10 ball. Mario was up big, and I'm standing there with Mike, and he probably has like a 3 or 4 game lead, and he's on the hill. And me and Mike are talking because Pinoza was there, and I said, I don't know if it's over yet. I said, I've seen Mario in this spot before. I think I know how this story might end a little bit. And it wasn't a knock on him. It's just how pressure can affect different players. Some of them are closers and finishers, and others can, give you a window to come on in and give you another shot. Whenever you're playing from a head like that, what's your mindset like? Are you just playing out the rack? Or are you thinking, I better handle my business here because I'm playing against pretty dangerous opponent.
I mean, honestly, whenever I start a match, I try telling myself to pretend it's always hill hill, but in reality, I
Really?
mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, because like for some reason, sometimes I play better under the pressure. I don't know why, but in reality, it's not really like that. You know, it's like, but when it's actually hill hill, you play so much different than in the beginning, or not you, but like me.
Right. Yeah. 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 Does that back arm kind of tighten up a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
My stroke gets a little pokey when I go hill hill. I'm like focused. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to do this. You know.
Well, that's you're human, but you're getting more seasoned, as they say. You know,
Oh yeah.
um, Part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on was talk junior nationals. As you can see, we got some
Yeah.
great sponsors that we're going to be giving shout out to and love to throughout the next month, and we're going to be having a lot of you young competitors on. I've had a couple already, including Kennedy and a kid Summers, who it's going to be his first time. Let's see, Christian says Savannah said you got the 8 million. I need much more than the 8
What?
from Savannah. I've seen her hit a ball. She got action in one pocket, but
Oh,
definitely not playing rotation with Savannah. That's for sure. So, uh, but you won last year at junior nationals, right?
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
which division was it?
It was the 14 and under 9 ball and the 18 and under 8 ball.
Which one did you play Sophia in the finals? I think it was, wasn't it?
I played both. Both those divisions were Sophia in the finals, I believe. Yeah, I think
You
it.
ended up winning both of them. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
If I remember right, because this was something that stuck out with me before that match started. Up until I think that event, or maybe it was that match, you had never beaten her before.
I
Correct
think
me,
so. I think
correct
that
me
was.
if I'm wrong, or
I,
maybe Larry told me that.
I mean, maybe I might have beat her like once or twice, but I've never really beat her like for first place or anything. You know, I think that was yeah. I think that was the first time I ever beat her, and I was actually surprised I beat her in the more in the 8 ball because she plays a lot of 8 ball and her 8 ball game's really good. So I was a little surprised I beat her there.
What does it mean to you to have someone who competes as well and as hard as you do to kind of push you to get the best version out of you when you're out there playing like Sophia does?
What does it mean to me?
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely helps actually because it would help if more juniors come in. I was just telling Melina in the back room, before we started the live that I was just playing with a junior last night in the doubles local tournament. So
What's his name?
I mean, Kai Teets, I believe. Kai Teets. I know his name's Kai, but Teets, I believe.
Is that
Yeah.
his whole name or his first name or
Oh no, no,
what's
Kai's his first name, and then
oh,
his
it's like,
last
what
name's
kind
Teets.
of name is this? Oh, you're butchering the kid's name, the poor kid. How'd y'all do?
Oh, we actually did pretty good. We ran pretty deep. I mean, we didn't place, but we did run pretty deep. But he's definitely an upcoming junior.
How did y'all get partnered up? Is it kind of just random draw, or did y'all meet up,
Um,
or how does
yeah,
that work?
we were talking about it like a week before. There was actually 30 teams, I believe, at Griff's last night.
Wow.
And funny thing is, me and him played, and then my dad and his dad played together. So, but
Did
my
y'all go farther than Larry and his dad?
no, they actually, it's like a chip tournament. So we start out with 8 chips, like depending on your Fargo. So like when you're like 1,000 and under, you get like 8 chips.
Right.
So you can only lose 8 times, right? So my dad and his dad actually had 1 chip left, so they couldn't lose at all, and I think they held on to that for probably an hour or an hour and a half. And
Larry's
you,
got some heart, huh?
oh, oh,
There he is in
oh
the
yeah,
chat.
he's already in the chat. No, he's
Yeah.
7th. Yeah, they ran deeper than us, but yeah. But he did. My dad did hook his dad a lot.
Did he?
Yeah, it was like it was such an easy out too. So the 8 ball is right here, right, and the 9 ball is right here. All you have to do is just roll it and just stop it right where the 8 ball is. Somehow he hits it and then just leaves him like this. He balls right here, and then I balls right here. But he actually kicked it in, so I mean, he got a good partner.
It worked out. It all worked out in the end. He wants
Yeah,
to show off. That's what it is. He's got a flair for the dramatic. Um, do you get a lot of kids hitting you up to maybe ask your advice, or that look up to you because of maybe how much you're over all over social media, all the events you attend, all the competition that you're in?
I've definitely had a couple of people post actually. Like there's a bunch of 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds. I mean, they message me. They say what drills can I run, or like what tournaments can I play for juniors or my daughters. So it's definitely good to see.
Well, there's one they can play at next month because I think junior national is open to every and anybody, right?
Yeah. So I definitely recommended those to some of the juniors.
What's it like to you knowing that these kids look up to you?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, when I first started, I never thought if I said I was gonna be like in my position in 2 years, I'd probably never believe it.
Because there wasn't for you, there wasn't a Savannah Easton to look up to when you were that age, or was there?
Mm,
Maybe that was like
I
online a
wasn't
lot
really into
and
pool
a
when I first
coach.
started. Actually, I didn't know any names. I didn't know who SVB was, Josh Bill, or anyone. I kind of just played because I liked it, and then I think it was until a couple months I started getting familiar with all the faces, juniors, everything. So, but
What's it like now seeing all these top players embrace you the way they do when you're out at events? Because and I've seen it before. You're pretty popular and probably more popular than 90% of them.
oh, I'm definitely very grateful. I mean, for everything that's happened to me over the last 2 years, especially for my parents. I'm grateful for them, of course.
They're traveling all over with you, right? They get to see the world alongside you, or vice versa.
Yep, yep.
No, they're both great. I was actually trying to get you on yesterday, and had a little bit of an issue late in the evening with my daughter melting down, and uh,
Yeah, I
I,
heard
I I messaged Larry first, and then it was funny because I messaged him and I'm asking all the details, right? Hey, what do you guys got going on? Are you going to be free? Blah blah blah. And he's like, "There's no tournament this weekend," and I was like, "Great." I said, "Well, then let's try to shoot for tomorrow." And he says, "Well, message Tiffany." And I said, "No doubt, I got you." So I messaged Tiffany like hours later, right? I messaged your mom.
that. Yep.
And I said, "Hey, this is what's going on. I don't know if Larry gave you a heads up. You know, I'm thinking you guys are going to be free tomorrow." And she's like,
This is where it's going.
"Larry said specifically she doesn't have a tournament tomorrow or this weekend." So I said, "Wonderful." So then, when I messaged your mom, the first thing out of her mouth was, "She's got a tournament tomorrow," and I'm like, "Good job, Larry."
Get one job. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I always have to, I always can find a tournament, especially in Las Vegas for especially with Griffs, and then there's Bing and Balls Billiards. So I mean, I always can find a tournament no matter what week it is. So it's pretty nice.
how are you balance? Well, first of all, are you off for summer? And when you go back to school, how do you balance it? If so,
Well, I go to a hybrid school, so he's already in the
yeah, you're
he's
dead.
already in the chat. I go to a hybrid
Getting real
school.
technical about his response.
So sorry.
You're
I go
good.
to a hybrid school, and I go one day a week, and the rest is online. So that one day a week is usually for any questions or we review some stuff. So, and my teachers are so understanding, so it's very nice.
What are your grades like, Savannah?
I got straight A's.
Really?
Mhm.
I can find out if you're lying. By the way, I
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I mean, my mom posted it, so yeah.
How important is that for your parents to keep you buttoned up and
Oh, first priority.
on your school?
Like, uh, when I first started like really traveling for tournaments, their first thing they said was school comes first. If you don't get good grades, then you're not traveling or playing tournaments. So very important.
Well, we got to do what we can to get you kids in shape. I had a milestone recently with my youngest, and so we've been this gym I go to has a pool, and so I've been taking her swimming more and more, and she started going with her floaty on, right? But I knew she could do it without it. She just didn't want to do it, and then she was scared. So for like a week, we're debating, right? And she's telling me all the reasons every time we go, which is every day, of why she's scared. She can't do it. I don't want to drown. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, you can do it. Just jump to me, right? So I finally had to bribe her. That didn't work. I offered her money, offered her ice cream. all the things you think would work for kids, right? Like it's snap call, right? Instantly. Didn't work out at all. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm taking your tablet. That's the next best thing that I can do because I wanted to push her to be who I think she can be. And sure enough, as soon as I said tablet, she jumped on in. And now she's great because
Hey,
she
that's every kid's first priority nowadays.
it really is, right? Unless you're Savannah Easton and you're playing pool all the time, you know? So but no, it's great and I love that you have that balance because it's super important. You know, um how many parents are like that with their kids you feel like out there when you're traveling and you see all the same kids? Is everyone taking school pretty seriously out there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the juniors. They've begged their parents to put them in hybrid, but most of the parents they all say school comes first, doesn't matter. And it's kind of hard to trust some hybrid schools, because it's like you still have to have the work ethic to work online and do your school because no one can really push you to do the work except yourself online for online school. So it's kind of hard unless you take away their tablet or something.
Hey, or bribe them, one of the two, right? I'll
Yeah,
do. Hey,
yeah,
listen, I'll do whatever it takes, whatever it takes. No, it's great though, man. And I've been there, and I've had the privilege of sitting down with your dad and your mom while you're playing a match, and just seeing them sweating it literally.
oh,
The smiles and the frustrations that come with watching you play, and but it's dope that they just support you.
yeah,
Because as a parent, that's all we want to do. We want to see our kids do the very best that they can, and you're you're quite a pool player. So. Um, let's transition back to the junior nationals for a minute though. What events are you going to be playing in? Because I know there's a few new disciplines that they're going to be adding to it.
yeah. I know they recently changed the 9 ball to the 10 ball, I believe. So I'm playing in the girls 18 and under, and that's 10 ball. The girls 14 and under, and I think that's 10 ball too, isn't it? I don't know if they changed it to 10 ball or if it's still 9 ball.
I probably should know this, but I don't know this. But I'll find out this.
I know the 18 and under is definitely 10 ball because they want us to prepare for the World Juniors in Austria. So I'm excited to go there. But anyways, I think I'm playing the 22 and under 8 ball. I believe it's 8 ball. And then I'm playing. Oh yeah, my mom already got it in the chat.
She should know. Of all people, she definitely
I
knows.
know she knows everything like
Yeah.
that. And then I'm playing the 14.1 straight pool event, which that's probably I'm super excited for that one.
Have you played triple before? And if so, what's your high run?
I've played straight pool. I've never played a tournament, but I've played straight pool with some players in Griffs and at home. But my high run, I think it's uh 42 or 43 on 4-inch pockets. I think.
Hey, that's pretty sporty. So that's pretty fantastic. Way better than what I've ever done. So that's
Yeah.
for sure, man. That's awesome, Savannah. How often would you say you play it?
When I get time to, usually, I mean, it's a really good game just to practice. It's actually a really good game just to play at home by yourself because you don't really need anyone to play. I mean, if you're like struggling with cue ball control and like, it really helps you think ahead. Like in 9 ball or 10 ball, you have to think 3 or 4 balls ahead. So straight pool really gets you thinking pretty much like maybe 6 balls ahead or something like that.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the thinking games. That's why I appreciate One Pocket so
Yeah.
much. Because it's all in here and all the different variables and scenarios, and you think you can do one thing, and then you try to do it, then you can't do it, and then you go and try to do it again, and eventually you get better at it. And what's your thoughts on switching over to 10 ball though for the junior nationals from 9 ball?
Oh, I actually like it. They switched to 10 ball because that's my favorite game. I like the no slop, and I like that 1 ball. It changes the whole game, so you really have to
Well, the break especially, I feel like
Oh
more
yeah,
than anything because it's more of a power break. I feel like, especially
yeah, yeah,
playing with
definitely.
the triangle rack, and I don't know what they're using out there.
You're using
Um,
triangle rack?
no, I don't know. No, don't hold me to that. I don't. I want to say no. It's probably going to be a template. I would guess it's a template. All these things I should know, but I definitely
Yeah, you're
don't know.
supposed to represent. Come on.
Ask Tiffany. Well, listen. This is why Shane Tyree asked me to do all this. So um,
Uh,
yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time. A lot of different disciplines. You guys are gonna be out there the whole week, right?
yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty much playing every event or event I can play in there.
Are you gonna defend your championship?
Oh, definitely, and hopefully get some more.
I love the confidence, Savannah. I appreciate you making time. It was a quick interview, and I can't wait to have you on again during Junior
Oh,
Nationals in a couple of weeks. Tell your mom thank you, as always, for her patience with me, especially because she helped out quite a bit through all this. So we look forward to seeing you and all the juniors out there. Quincy, Illinois, do you know the dates? Or should we just ask your mom
yeah,
everything else?
yeah. We should ask my mom. I think it's like 23rd or something, somewhere close to there.
Look, one of these days before the event starts, I'll know all the details, and I'll eventually be more prepared. Savannah Easton, I appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.